All right, people, we are here and we're back. We're talking about football. We're talking about basketball. If you weren't here and you're watching this for the first time, I really highly suggest that you watch our latest mock draft in our Dynasty channel, because we were talking about a basketball controversy. Who's the snake, LeBron James or KD?
No, that's not the context. No, the context is not who's the snake.
Either way, it's all love.
None of them are snakes.
Nah, either way, it's all love. Let us know if I'm gonna put you down. I think it was a little bit too loud. We are doing a redraft SuperFlex mock draft with our community. The community have been liking the SuperFlex format in a redraft perspective. So if you want to be a part of these mock draft, it's super simple, super easy. All you have to do is join the Discord and then go in the redraft, and in season go to redraft mock draft tab, and that is where we'll be posting the link. Not everyone can join, so just make sure you just understand that not everyone's going to be able to join, but it's all love. We'll be doing this almost every single day leading up to the NFL season. If you want to be part of a redraft league, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. If all you have to do is sign up there. We do have 2 more spots in our Lima league. Potentially it might be filled after we get off this live, actually, so
I need to figure that out.
Don't mark my words there. But if you do want to be part of a redraft league, that's super simple, super easy. Patreon.com/fantasylandfam. Go there, click on redraft, and we can get you all set up. As always, this is a mock draft. It's all love.
Oh my gosh. Now everyone knows why I didn't want to even get into that conversation. Like, it's such a rabbit hole. And it is such a rabbit hole of a conversation. But yeah, I mean, I think I said my piece though. It's.
I think it's all right. I mean, it happens. People
I just think
LeBron.
context is super important. But like Badaki always says, he doesn't know basketball. So
I
for
literally
me to
always
give him
say
context, it just doesn't matter. Like he's just like, yeah, I don't get it. I'm
I
like,
don't
all
get
right.
it. I was just telling Zach, like, I mean, I've said it a little bit, but I watched ESPN fed the whole thing of how the city of Cleveland needed LeBron to stay afloat. They were crying, they were burning his jerseys, and the whole time LeBron was saying, I love Cleveland, I don't want to leave, and he still leaves. Which, for someone that doesn't know anything about basketball, and when you see that, don't leave. Just don't do it.
Well, he came back.
He had, yeah, and for sure it was a money move, and it was everything for sure, and I completely get that. And then when KD stuff happened, it was never about like I guess I didn't see the KD couldn't beat Golden State, so he just joins them and joins a super team. That's the context that I got. That's the context that I understand. Even with the context that Zach has been saying, I get it. I still believe they both led down the same pathway. They just took different routes. One built the super team and one joined the super team. That's how I see it. I still have respect for both of them, in my opinion. I think
just no John Morant. Dog.
Dog.
John Morant. Dog. Chet Holmgren. Dog. No, some people disagree. It's okay. Hey, that's okay. Touchy subject.
It's a touchy subject, but this is why you should only watch basketball in the playoffs, because that's really what all matters when it comes down to it. The regular season games, too many games to watch. Watch the playoffs. That's what matters.
He is him. He is him. Dog.
Send that link out, man. I send that link to you, by the way. So send it out. Once again, if you want to be part of our redraft mock draft, go to the text channel called Redraft and In Season. Go to Redraft Mock Draft. Click on that, and that's where Zach is going to be putting the link.
Yep. Link's out. And I'm going to also just let people know that we're live on this stream if they want to join us.
Yeah. I guess, who's the biggest snake in NFL? Who did the LeBron KD move in the NFL? Maybe let's get to that conversation. Talk about some football.
It's hard because there's way less, like, the team is so much more important than individuals, and
yeah, for sure. And it probably will be hard. One more spot left in the 11 spot. There we go. All
right, let's start this bad boy off.
Start it up here. 30 seconds. We're going straight into it. Once again, this is a SuperFlex PPR mock draft, not a regular mock draft where you're drafting running backs first. All right. Shout out to you who just subscribed. I am a beast. All love. Appreciate you.
Shout out, beast. Got to put that noti at the top.
Yeah. What's happening there? I just saw that.
Wow.
Thanks for subbing, brother.
Wow.
I'm gonna test that widget again. Hold on. Noti at the top.
The cat makes it too hard. Closest thing would be Brady, but it's not the same at all. So yeah, it's actually, I agree. It's so difficult because the team just means so much more.
Yeah, like there's so many moving pieces for the NFL team, like the offensive linemen, the wide receivers.
Exactly.
A lot of pieces.
It's 5 starters and a bench, in the NBA. And in the NFL, it's 10 times that, or 5 times that. Excuse me.
I think Tom Brady was just more like a challenge for him. Like, was it me or Bill? Type vibe. And I think that was the conversation around a lot of people. I think maybe
los dos.
Yeah, and I think that was the conversation around I'm gonna take Jalen Hurts here. My top 3 quarterback in redraft. I think the conversation that maybe that was going around in, let me turn off this as well.
Tunchi.
What do you say?
Tunchi, this is a beautiful picture. You know what?
I can't see it.
I'm gonna send it to you on Facebook, and I'd love you to show the chat this picture.
Okay.
Oops, I sent you the wrong thing. Here, let's see if I can. Because I think this is a very beautiful just example, supporting argument maybe.
Let's see if I can somehow bring this up to the chat. What happens if I just paste that? Is there a link for that, Tunchi, potentially? I don't want to show my screen.
Oh yeah. Do you have a link to maybe where that is on the internet? Maybe you can send that to Badaki. He can show people. How hard is it to switch back and forth between dynasty and redraft mindsets? It's actually pretty easy. I just think you just have to be like constantly in the mock draft world with both of them. I think what's hard is when you're not in redraft mock mode for so long and then you step into it. But after you're in it for a while, I think it's pretty easy to switch on and off. If the NFL has one thing nailed, it's parity. True. Hey TJ, I'm happy to talk about it. I think my face looks a little orange because of my background on my computer. Maybe that will help. I don't know, but
yeah, actually,
always happy to talk.
I have a solution. So it's just gonna take away the draft board for a quick second.
Okay.
And
it said it's easy actually, if your dynasty teams are win now.
Actually, True. Not. So here it is. This is the photo that it was showing.
Okay, right, yeah.
Hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully it's a good size. I can zoom in a little bit more. LeBron team, Wade's team, he did this because the team kept talking him out. He didn't do this. Kept taking him out. He didn't do this. Right. Okay.
He didn't join him.
He didn't join him.
Totally. I just wish KD did like what's his Miami?
Okay. Stafford.
Can you post a link to the YouTube? Yeah, we can definitely do that here. I'll post that link for you here, Dominator.
Sorry, and I'm catching up with the chat.
Yeah, I think that's good perspective.
Yeah, let me.
I think it's good perspective, y'all.
I wonder.
So what does your videos go up to today?
02, I think.
You know what's weird is like today your videos downloaded so quick, but the other day it took hours. I just don't get
I don't know
why it's different. You'll see my DM about Metcalf. I think he's underrated going into the season. Oh.
What did I do? Did I do something?
No, I was just saying that's an interesting conversation. DK underrated. As far as like redraft specifically. I'm curious if that's what you mean. Oh, TB12 on the board, baby. Let's go. What a start. SG. Last year in a Superflex league, he had Murray and Brady, and it was so hard to beat his team.
Yeah,
it
was
really difficult to beat his team.
He loves Kyler Murray too. He really loves
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, hallelujah. What's up? What's happening? I'm a beast on Twitch.
I didn't even check Twitch the entire last stream. That's my bad.
He said both.
We see Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon going off the board.
Yeah, Steven say he averaged like 19 points in the 3 games with Geno. Yeah, and I think the problem there is that...
I actually talked about that as well in our DK buy or sell video.
And I think the question is like, is Geno going to be the starting quarterback? And we don't know. The expectation is Drew's going to be the quarterback. Geno, and I said that Geno has started, I think it was 6 or 9 games in the last 3 years. Not sure if they're going to move forward with Geno potentially. And maybe there's going to be a point in time in the season where they say, you know what? Let's give Geno a chance. And maybe that's when DK could be the guy. But I don't think the return is going to be so fast, especially in the redraft perspective. Dynasty is different.
Yeah. Agreed, brother.
What a day so far, you know. LeBron James. I'm excited to see. I really hope KD doesn't leave because I was hoping to go to the Nets game to watch KD.
So hard to see them staying together now.
Yeah,
but I don't really know. I mean, I don't know.
It was the Nets are pretty good. They have like a good young team or decent like developing team. Is that right?
Well, I mean, they have right now KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton.
The Knicks. Sorry, excuse me, the Knicks.
The Knicks. They just signed Jalen Brunson. RJ Barrett's pretty big there. I know Randall had a pretty disappointing year, but Brunson's a pretty hot signing in the city. Oh, Devontae on the board, baby. Let's go.
Seattle's been saying that Gino's in the front right now. He hasn't been the start on the team because Seattle kept bringing him back. Right.
Yeah, right now my understanding is that Gino's winning the battle, but
yeah, I definitely saw that tweet. I think that was a tweet that we saw.
Yeah,
I don't think I think both are pretty bad, but yeah, I can definitely see him on the clock here. I can definitely see how Gino can be.
Jason says actually be amazing for DK if Seattle is terrible. Just start tossing DK late in the game. I guess it could help like the old like trying to come from behind, needing to throw the ball a lot. Jay Stump says I was on at 6 a.m. in 49ers Instagram the other day, and they posted saying the Browns could trade for Jimmy G depending on how many games Watson is gone for. Could be interesting. Steven says Seattle has drafted a few would-be backup development quarterbacks who they dropped because they preferred Gino.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Very intriguing. Nets have 3 first overall picks and second overall. How can they lose? You know, the really tough position for the Nets as well is they don't have any of their next however many first round picks because of the James Harden trade. The James Harden trade, I think they gave up 3 or 4 first round picks. And if they blow it up, their own picks will not be in their hands, which makes it really difficult on what direction you should go, because it's basically like in Dynasty if you wanted to completely rebuild, but you had for the next 3 rookie drafts, you didn't have your first round pick, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell do you do then?
Yeah. Gotta wait and see. We got to wait and see what's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to go see KD and the Nets, but it looks like he's not going to be there. And I also want to go see. Obviously, I'm going to a Giants game when I go to New York, but I was hoping to go watch at least KD, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So maybe.
Yeah, exactly, Jason. If I'm the GM of the Nets, if I'm not getting what I need, I'm probably just talking to Katie and Kyrie and saying, let's run it back one more year. Like, let's just try and run it back one more year. Because I really think that Ben Simmons is the big unknown. What could Ben Simmons do for this team? It's hard to say. And man, that team could do something special if they just had chemistry and if they were together for a long enough period. I think Patty Mills is still on contract as well. I don't dislike KD at all, AT. I actually really respect him. I just didn't respect that move. I do want to see him succeed in Brooklyn as well. I really do.
Brooklyn.
I'd be happy for him to succeed elsewhere as well, but if the talks about him going back to Golden State are true, that would be kind of just disappointing. I'll be a little bit disappointed in that move, but I'm fine if he wants to leave and try somewhere else. But that move specifically, I just didn't have a lot of respect for. Okay, so you went Aaron Jones, then Tyreek, Debo,
Justin Fields.
Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, T. Higgins, Justin Fields. It's a little early for Fields in redraft, don't you think?
I guess it depends on how you want to perceive it. You know, he did have the 5th highest rushing amongst quarterbacks with 800 plus or something, or 500, plus yards. I guess if we're looking at a redraft perspective, why not take the chance? But it does feel early. I wonder if in a SuperFlex if people will take the chance on him this early. I'm gonna go Mikey. I think Keenan is higher than Mike for me.
You know why I feel like that's just a little too early for Fields in redraft is specifically because of players like Marcus Mariota, for example. Different players, but you're going to be able to get Mariota probably in like the 10th, 11th round. And this early, I like Fields. I think he can take a step, but in redraft, I would much rather prefer to like fill my RBs, fill my wide receivers, get an elite tight end. It's just a little hard to trust Fields right now in redraft, specifically with the weapons around him.
Yeah, I know, and I think that's why it's so hard for me to trust Trey. I think he has the better team and the better head coach and the better talent. Justin Fields just doesn't have that, and I think I view the same thing, at least in the redraft perspective, with Trey. Like, I don't know if I want to take a chance on Trey at the 2-3, but I see how people are going to do it. But I think the same way you feel about Fields is the same way I feel about Trey Lance. I think it just feels more confident because of the talent around him. George Kittle, Debo, Mitchell, everyone, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Jay Stump says, I know my Pistons got 2 dogs in the backcourt. Yeah, they're going to be fun to watch. ATJ, I also agree. I don't know that Ben really likes basketball all that much. I think maybe the goal was to get financial security. Let's find out. I mean, this year, let's see what happens. Katie to the Raptors would be really funny. I think he did talk about his love for Vince Carter once, but I don't know if I don't think that was Raptors related. Maybe, who knows? Fields giving you what Hurts did last year.
Yeah, and I think that's the thought process, and I think that's the thought process on Trey Lance. I think the thought process is that Trey can rush as well, use his legs. Yeah. But we'll see. Gator fan, what's funny is the teams that Kyrie and Katie each ended up meeting in the finals.
True. That's actually true. Maybe they're the problem. No, I'm kidding.
All love, Tunchi. Thank you for coming through, man. Contributing, Steven. But Fields has N'Keal Harry now. That's true.
N'Keal.
Top guy.
Game changer.
He's a top guy.
Imagine N'Keal just like breaks out this year, and we're all like, "What the hell?"
Like, why can you do that with literally the best quarterback in the world, Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Justin Fields. That means just Justin Fields better than Tom Brady, clearly. That's a joke, by the way, if you didn't get that.
Yeah.
Or for people that be like, wow, did you just say Justin Fields better than Tom Brady? Calm down.
Yeah. Just a joke. It's just a joke.
What a joker.
What a joker. So Keenan goes at the 4-5. Mikey Will at the 5-2. Always interesting to see where the teammates end up falling. I kind of have regrets on the Jacobs pick. I think I should have gone a different route there just because I don't want too many Raiders. But that's okay. I'm back on the clock. And I know that if I don't take this player, I think you will. So I'm just going to grab him here.
Right. Gator fan, it's hard for me sometimes with Superflex because I know you need to get a solid second QB, but it feels like I lose out on the value of the skill position.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
you're gonna lose one way or the other. I think, unfortunately,
that is the risk of getting a quarterback later or not, or losing on other positions or earlier. Excuse me. You got to find that even balance, who you believe in, like what Daniel D. Lawrence just did. He took Matt Ryan at the 5-7, probably a little bit higher than normal, but he has better skilled positions, Mike Evans, Javonte, CMC. Take a chance on a lower tier quarterback. I'm on the clock here.
I think it definitely depends on what quarterbacks are available on the board in a redraft league. But I do think that if I'm not getting like a specific tier that I really want, I think I am going to punt my quarterback till about round 8, 9, 10 and take a chance on some of these other guys. Like, for example, I think maybe Daniel Jones will be there. Marcus Mariota could potentially be there. Trubisky, obviously not your ideal options for your quarterback too, but I just think I'm probably punting if I don't get one of those tiers of quarterbacks that I really like in the first 3 rounds. I think I'm punting until like the 9th, 10th round.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I should
Fields in the 4th, 5th, or Jameis in the 8th, or Tannehill even later. Yeah, let's see where they actually end up landing. Let's find out. But I would say I would prefer the latter. Yeah. ATJ says Ben definitely loves the perks of being a pro basketball player, but doesn't want to put in the work. it makes absolutely no sense for Giannis to have improved as much as he has been able to, and Ben to not. It's a good point. Definitely. I mean, I would say it's safe to say Ben's career trajectory hasn't gone the way that many people anticipated it would. So I think that is fair to say.
Yeah, looking at my rankings, I should have taken Monty there instead of JK. Didn't have my rankings open at the time. I definitely have Monty significantly higher than JK.
By the way, guys, shout out to the 22 people watching the stream. We don't get a lot of interactions here on the Redraft channel as much as the Dynasty channel, so it means so much to us if you could drop a like here on this live stream. That's just going to help us reach some more people. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis? Is that how you pronounce it? I think so. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis.
Giannis? Is it Giannis or Giannis?
It's definitely not Giannis. It's Giannis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
By the way, I don't know if you saw the reports about Le'Veon Bell. The reports saying that he was saying he's going to focus on boxing this year. I found it a little funny because it's like, yeah, bro, me too. You know, like, just in case the NFL is wondering, I'm also focusing on boxing. As in, like, no one was really going to sign him anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know that, bro. A lot of teams were interested in signing you. Yeah. So thanks for letting us know, Le'Veon.
Gosh.
Just in case any NFL teams out there are curious, I'm also probably not going to play football this year. Yeah. So you can mark me off your boards.
Yeah, honestly. Just realized I wasn't sub to Redraft Tramp. Probably a good move. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for the support.
Appreciate you, brother.
Rob, how would you re-rank quarterbacks if the scoring was 6 points? All of our rankings are in 6-point scoring formats, passing touchdowns. We like to do our rankings in that. So if you do support us on patreon.com.
Can't believe I'm doing this. Oh my gosh.
patreon.com/fantasylandfam. You can see all of our rankings there. You can unlock it with our close friends plus tier, and you can see our rankings there, all in 6 points passing touchdowns.
Can't believe I just drafted Deontay Johnson. It feels so gross.
Steve, I'm currently on restricted free agent if any team's interested. Honestly,
hit Steve up.
I've been open. Let's go. I remember days when Le'Veon Bell would win your leagues. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
we drafted. I think it was a couple years ago now, when Le'Veon Bell was holding out. One of our friends took him in the top 8, I think.
No, one of our friends took him as the 101 because he was a consensus 101 at that point.
Was he 101? I thought it was like
he took him 101. It was Sam. I remember. Yeah, he took him as the first player overall.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember.
And then I remember that specifically because I picked James Conner up off the waiver wire right after the draft, and I was able to trade him, James Conner, for Mike Evans, and ended up being a win-win at the end of the day.
Yeah. Wow. You just have a good memory. I don't remember half of the stuff, to be honest. Gator fan, thoughts on my team so far? I don't like draft Kamara, but thought it was pretty good value considering the RBs that were left in my RB2, right? I would have taken Mitchell personally over Alvin Kamara. I know with a 6-game suspension, if it is 6 games, it's kind of like DeAndre Hopkins. You know, we've been talking about DeAndre, at least for me specifically. We've been talking about DeAndre Hopkins and, like, you know, when is the value and the return on your investment really going to come back? And not until week 6 or 7, depending on Alvin Kamara's bye week. I don't know if I want to take that chance. I would rather avoid Alvin Kamara completely, unless his suspension is a 2-game, 3-game suspension. It's a little bit different. I'm taking Mitchell every single day. And maybe you have to reach there because you're on the edge. Remember, you're on the edge. Maybe you have to have reached for someone like an AJ Dillon, someone that you don't potentially draft at the edges there because, you know, you're at the edge. Just keep that in mind.
I'm on the edge of glory.
Connor said on the waiver wires for a couple weeks that year.
Can't believe I have Deontay. It feels so gross.
Mitchell over Kamara, or is Mitchell on Kamara over Mitchell?
Brandon.
I forget. I haven't done that in a long time. What's the greater than is alligator mouth open?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
He says he has Mitchell
over Kamara.
No, well, the way it's actually pointing, he has Kamara over Mitchell.
Okay, that's why I was confusing. I was like, well, so Kamara over Mitchell would technically be the other way.
I think we would definitely agree, but the only thing that I think, like, as far as like drafting, we have no idea when Kamara is going to be available to play. The NFL's conduct policy is at minimum a 6-game suspension, and he did break it. So if he is suspended 6 games, I think I'm probably going Mitchell, but no doubt talent and like without a suspension. I mean, Alvin Kamara is probably going in the 2nd round here, 3rd round.
Yeah.
In a SuperFlex format.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just keep that in mind. It's definitely Kamara every single day, even higher. Rob says PPR rank Zeke, Brees, Etienne, Jacobs, Dobbins. Off the top of my head, actually I'll tell you exactly with my rankings. I have them open here. He said Zeke.
PPR rank Zeke, Brees, Jacobs, Dobbins. For me, I think I'm pretty confident in saying what I know. Like right off the top of my head, Jacobs, Zeke, Brees, and Dobbins for me in that order.
Okay.
Most confident in Jacobs. I know a lot of people have their doubts, have their concerns, understandably. I just think with the leap that this offense could take, we could see a Joe Mixon type touchdown total for Josh Jacobs this year. And Josh Jacobs, like if you look at his numbers on PFF, he was actually like one of the, I think, top 8 running backs in the NFL last year, according to PFF. So I think he's going to benefit a lot from Devontae Adams being there, and this offense potentially being a higher scoring offense. Zeke, I think I'm moving up my rankings more and more each day because I just think it's so hard for Zeke to fail. He's just going to be very safe. Him and Pollard, I think, are great picks. I think Brees is going to get a ton of work. Oh, I didn't see Etienne was there. I would have Etienne right ahead of Brees. So right behind Zeke, right ahead of Brees. And then I would have Dobbins at the end just because of the injury that he's beginning the year with.
Yeah, I'm looking at my rankings now. I actually have Zeke, Etienne, Dobbins, Brees, and then Jacobs. So that's how I would rank it. I have Zeke pretty high as my RB17. He did have a top 10 finish this past year. I still believe he will get the touchdowns. I still believe they're going to utilize him. This may still be his last year because we've been talking about that. This could be his last year in Dallas.
Probably is.
But I actually still believe that he can be a top guy. I'm on the clock here. Give me 1 second so I can finish my thought process. I need another.
Leonardo says, gives the whole context of the moves from Braun and KD. Nah, forget that. This is what I think, even though I don't have or care about the context.
Talk about me. Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, this is always the struggle talking NBA.
I hear the context. I'm hearing you. I'm also giving you what I have felt for the past couple years.
Yeah. Only context might help people change their perspective, but I don't know.
It doesn't really. Anyways,
like, that's kind of the point of context, right?
Becky mumbled.
Yeah, like I don't want to agree.
Story. So you have a point. So Zeke, Etienne, and Hall are y'all running back dead zone targets? So Zeke, Etienne, and Hall are y'all's running back dead zone targets?
I would say Dobbins is right outside of the tier of everyone else that you mentioned for me. But I have the rest of those guys in the same tier. Dang, I really wanted to grab Clyde there as my RB2, but I'll grab Cordero here. Take a risk on him.
Yeah, take the context and adjust now. Adjust your beliefs now. Like I said, I think I hear the context and I can see how it's there. I still think the results were the same. You know, like the pathways were different, but the results were the same. And I think people were a lot harsher on KD than LeBron, personally. But that's just my thought process.
Fair enough. I don't think anyone's being disrespectful though. I think we're all chilling.
No, I don't think it's disrespectful at all.
I do love the mumble alligator mouth.
No, because I was trying to think about it in my head. Because I remember like the way they teach you like greater or less than was that it's always
Dang it.
the alligator
Sorry,
mouth.
I wanted Gordon or
open.
Penny there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The alligator mouth was always open, meaning that it was greater than, and less than it was the opposite. So I was like, I was a bit confused.
Yeah, the alligator mouth eats.
Why are you laughing?
I love that he's getting roasted right now by his wife.
Yeah, meaning greater, like they're grabbing what's bigger or greater than. I don't know. Yeah, I guess the way the person put it here was, it was the opposite. But like we cleared it out on this one.
You cleared it up.
Mitchell, see, Mitchell less. What he meant to say.
It's just a different way to type it. I mean, most people technically, I guess, would put like the greater than first, but. Because in the way that he typed it out, Badaki, is Mitchell is not greater than Kamara. Instead of Kamara is greater than Mitchell.
Yeah.
Technically.
I guess. I don't know.
So.
That was confusing, but.
As long as the RB doesn't have an alligator arm, so. Yeah.
Alligator arms. This is where it gets very interesting here.
Very interesante.
See, this is where like, do I take Drake or like, do I take? I'm gonna take Drake here. This is what's hard. I need to really look.
Look.
Beliefs.
Okay, by the way, we're in the 9th round in Mac Jones. We're almost in the 10th round, and Mac Jones is still there. Same with Jameis, Carson, Danny Dimes, Mariota. Just heads up. I think there is a tier where it drops, and I think we can skip on quarterback for a couple rounds.
ATJ, don't get me started. No disrespect. As long as the running back doesn't have alligator arms. Blaze is here. You kind of saw in the background a little bit. She's on. We kind of moved the room around now, so you probably see her a lot more often. Like before in our old apartment. Yeah, I mean, look at my rankings to that wide receiver spot. Because
Daniel says, "Yep, should have waited to grab my quarterback 2 later." Hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, that could have been a running back there. It could have been a Dobbins or Montgomery, Connor, whatever you wanted. This is why we mock. See how the board falls. You know?
Yeah. I was upset. I probably shouldn't have taken London. According to my rankings, I should definitely take somebody else, which I feel like they could fall to me.
I don't think London's a bad pick there.
I don't think he's the bad pick either. I need to adjust my rankings still here in this area. Cause like
I feel like doing those tier videos really helped me establish my rankings.
Your rankings, yeah. Rob says, I have Gage as the top 15 wide receiver overall if Godwin is out for the season. I guess it will make sense if Godwin is out for the whole season.
Sure. Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm the highest I've seen in the industry right now on him, which maybe I just haven't watched enough people's content, but he's my wide receiver 30 right now. So I have Gage ahead of Burks, London, St. Brown, Kirk, Cooper, Elijah Moore, Devonta Smith, Michael Thomas. So I'm definitely on board with a huge Gage year ahead. And we actually made a video about that on our page. Let me see if I can find it, because it might be worth a watch in case anyone wants to see my full reasoning as to why I'm very high on Gage. And honestly, I don't think wide receiver 30 is going to be all that controversial as we get closer to the season anyway. I think that's going to be pretty common for a lot of people, but I'll paste that link in the chat in case anyone wants to watch that video.
Yeah.
But I was really hoping that I was going to be able to grab Gage here. But now he's gone. I'll grab Zach Ertz. Top 6 tight end for me in my rankings. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little Ertz Murray stack.
Not bad.
Didn't even mean to do that, but I have it.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Good size.
Gator fan, do you think I recovered well my team? Yeah, I think the team's still good even with Alvin Kamara not there. I think that's what we were saying. You know, let's say you could have gotten there, Hollywood Brown, Cortland Sutton, Waller, any of these wide receivers, had that be as your wide receiver 2. Wide receiver 2 and get Hollywood Brown, excuse me. So you got Hollywood, and then you could have got Tony and Damian, which we really like. I like Damian, and Zach's high on Pollard, so I think it's okay. And then now when Alvin Kamara,
it's just gonna make it hard to field like your flex spots with Kamara's potential 6-game suspension. So you think about it, you got Eckler, Pollard, Harris. I feel like you can start, Pollard with confidence at times, Harris with confidence at times. Higgins, Hollywood, and then Olave, Claypool. We don't know how confident we will be able to be in starting them just yet. I'm not saying that we won't be confident, but we just don't know what our confidence level will be until we get to the season.
Yeah.
So when you look at your roster, I just think the flex spots might be what you struggle with as far as like who do I start? It might be a constant question, and you just might not get it right some weeks because sometimes we don't get it right on who to start. What do you guys think of the KC backfield this year? Specifically, what do you think of Ronald Jones? I think Ronald Jones is in redraft. I keep saying I think he's one of the best buy low candidates or values in drafts.
Yeah.
It's with Darrell Williams gone. I think he's going to pretty much fill that role. Maybe not so much in the passing game, which makes me excited for both Clyde and Ronald Jones because I feel like they make much more sense as a duo.
Exactly.
I think they make a lot of sense in what they can bring. So I think they're both going to be good values.
Yeah, I also think it's a clear path now to. I feel like it's a clear path for Clyde now that Ronald Jones is there. You bring in a guy like Ronald Jones, we know he is, at least what it feels like, the first and second down, where Clyde could be the third down guy.
Yeah.
Clyde can still get the workload in the first and second and third down. But is Ronald Jones just going to be the reliever when Clyde is tired or hurt or whatever the case may be? Especially,
I think Rojo probably takes some goal line work though.
And I think, especially where Clyde here in the 8-7, this is a good value in my opinion for hypothetically RB3. Like that's an RB3 start. I mean, draft value. So where he was taken in the first, I do believe he can finish as a top 15, top 20 running back. If he stays healthy. That's been the problem. He needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
ATJ, thoughts on the squad. Mahomes, Kelsey got the little stack there. Najee, Zeke, Williams, DJ Moore, Bateman, Thielen, Kirk. I think you know how we feel about DJ Moore. We would take anyone else over him. Maybe there is a good value.
I don't even think that at that point it's bad value though.
Yeah,
I mean, we got Dave Davis going one spot behind him, so I don't hate the value there, but
Rashad Penny, it's actually a little bit higher on Penny where I'm not as high. And you got Mac Jones there as well, which is great. So I think it's good.
Yeah,
I'm on board here.
I would say the only question mark I have on this team is the quarterback too. But I think it's a pretty solid built team outside of that. Definitely a contender. So yeah, I think he did pretty well so far.
Wow. Don't sleep on Kenny G, y'all. Don't sleep on him. Giants legend.
I'd be in a coma, bro.
I'm telling you now.
Put me in a coma.
Giants legend. Oh man, I'm really hoping. I'm really believing for my team.
Dang, I was gonna take a shot on Dotson there this late.
Let me
but without Dotson there, I think I'm gonna
make the camera a little bit smaller.
I'm gonna grab Dameon Pierce here. Excuse me.
Yeah, that looks better. Feels better at least. Yeah, I thought about taking Pierce there, but
yeah, I don't think he's going to be the starter at the beginning of the season, so maybe he can develop into that.
What I was going to say, training camp in a week and a half, guys. A week from today. The 2 weeks from today. It doesn't start on the 20th. It starts on the 27th for most teams, which is really exciting. So look out for that. I think that's really exciting in my opinion. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
And once August is here,
kind of put us full into that mode.
Yeah, once August is here, that's when it's really gonna take off. Best believe, cause August 1st. When's the first preseason game? Let me look it up.
I think it's pretty early in August.
NFL schedule.
I think first week of August, if I'm not mistaken.
Hall of Fame game. It is
So boring.
Jags and Raiders, Friday, August 5th. Okay.
The Hall of Fame game sucks ass.
How many days until August 5th? 22 days. I mean, it's boring, but it's some football.
Yeah.
It's just.
I'll grab my QB3 here. What's up, Marcus? Pretty confident in grabbing him there. I mean, if I miss out on quarterback, I feel like Mariota is almost like that last person that I feel confident enough to be my quarterback too if I need to. Like him and Mitch. You know, obviously Mitch feels like he could lose his job quicker in my opinion. Some people might disagree, but I think Mitch has a much shorter leash.
Okay.
And I feel like that gives me a lot of flexibility if I don't hit on one of those top quarterbacks.
I'm on the clock here. I'm going to take a running back. I think he's going to go higher and higher. I said not if, but when James Conner gets hurt. So I'm taking Jarrell Williams here.
Wow.
I think
Daryl.
I think it's going to get to a point where like he's just going to go a lot higher. You know, isn't it?
I actually don't think so.
I think I won't be surprised.
I don't think. I mean, if Alexander Madison is going right here,
I think
this is pretty much backup range. I don't think he's going to go much higher.
I took him in the 15th. I already took him 2 rounds early compared to last time. So
yeah, I was going to say I don't think he would have been drafted in the 13th round if you hadn't drafted him there. So
D Style on Twitch. Who do you want from the Giants offense? I like Tony, but feels like Dante Pettis all over again. Galle was great not long ago, but if I'm getting Barkley, do I want either? Look, as a Giants fan, it's going to be hard to tell you which one to take. I believe in Tony. I believe in Kenny G. I even believe in Wandale. And I wasn't a believer in Wandale, but I believe in the head coach. I think that's the difference. I believe in the scheme that they're bringing in. If there was somebody that you should grab in a redraft perspective, I do believe it should be Kadarius Toney. I mean, it was only one game and we only saw a glimpse, but the way that they always wanted to utilize him was against the way they utilized him in that Cowboys game. I think was it. I was gonna say week 5, but it wasn't week 5. I think it was like week 10 or something like that. 11 targets, 160 plus yards. That's the thought process. I'm taking Kadarius Toney. I believe in the talent and the yards after the catch is great. So.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant. I mean, I'm not really a Giants fan or anything. I'm just hesitant. Very hesitant on Galladay, but his ADP isn't bad. I'm very hesitant on Tony and Wanda just because I don't understand why they're both there or why they drafted both of them. Mm-hmm. I think Saquon's the one. If I look at anyone in that offense that I really want a part of this year, I think Saquon would be my answer. I think he could have a really big year.
Yeah.
But, Tony, I'm not even against drafting Tony where he went here in the 10th round. I think there is upside. It's just all ADP. I guess the best way to put it is I'm not overreaching to draft the Giants this year.
Yeah. And I agree. And we've seen this in redraft, even in Dynasty. A lot of people, they're falling and falling and falling. I think the value is there for Kenny G in a Dynasty and redraft. Excuse me. I mean, if I can get both of them, I lock them up for, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 or 5. That's not that big of a deal,
Yeah.
I'll take Kenny Pickett.
Excuse me. Jeez.
Well, no, this is the last round, by the way.
Yep, last round here.
Rob, rank Jefferson.
Rob, the jewelry store. Tell him make me a grill.
Jefferson, Pierce, Nico, Pickens, Palmer. It's for who to round out your bench.
Okay.
To round out my bench in a redraft,
Van Jefferson, Alec Pierce, Nico Collins, George Pickens. I think I'm going
I'll give you my order. I'm going
Pierce,
yeah.
then Jefferson.
I'm going Pierce. I'm going Pierce, Palmer, Jefferson. No, Pierce. Excuse me. Pierce, Palmer, Nico, Jefferson, Pickens. Because I don't think Pickens going to get much work in a redraft perspective right now. I think Alec Pierce will get the most work.
They're all kind of shots in the dark, to be honest, in a redraft league. But I would say Pierce, Jefferson, Pickens, Palmer, Nico, and I don't even have Nico in the kind of the same tier as those guys personally.
55 days until kickoff.
Actually, I would honestly say Nico and Palmer. I personally don't. I feel like Jefferson, Pierce, and Pickens are going to be in a tier higher for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Manders.
Go Manders.
Let's go Manders.
If you were me, do you think it would have been have a good spot to hedge my bets and take Mark Ingram as well? Or you think it was good I just went JD McKissick instead? If I were you, since you have Kamara,
both good options.
Yeah, I think they're both good options. But specifically since you have Kamara, I would have done Ingram personally.
Probably right, yeah.
And then once you kind of understand it, you would just drop him because I feel like you're probably just gonna hold JD in hopes. You know, he has good weeks, so let me hold him. And you gotta wait. You need as much players you can start, especially with Alvin Kamara taking a spot in your bench or on your bench. Thoughts on that early? Where'd he go?
I mean, to be fair, I feel like the players around him, there's no like superstars around him that I feel like I would take the shot over. You know, like Jacoby Myers is going to get you like 8 points a game. Jarvis potentially around the same. What's Galladay going to do? Boyd. When can you actually start Boyd? Rondell. So I don't know. I personally feel like I was probably going to take a shot on him just because like you don't know. It's an unknown. In the 12th round, I'd rather have an unknown outside of a like just a solid. I want to try and hit big, you know, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. He's my 30th rank. Rob, feels like fantasy analyst community are 50-50 on Brees this year. What do you guys take on him? PPR drafts. We both like Brees. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's my running back. I think 19.
I'm a little bit
18. Sorry.
Yeah, I have him 21. I'm a little bit more standoffish. I believe more standoffish. Just purely because I do believe Michael Carter could see a third down role, and it's not that he's gonna, take so much opportunity away from him, but I think we could be surprised maybe on the work Michael Carter could receive.
Sure.
We do have a video
I would say
coming out about
in all the crucial areas of fantasy, I feel like Brees is going to be the better running back for this team. Goal line. I already think that Brees is a better pass catcher. I do think Carter's going to have a role for sure, but I just feel confident enough that I do believe Brees is going to see about 15 to 17 touches a game, which is enough for me to really value him that way. And as far as like guaranteed touches, I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity this year, and I just love the talent. So
yeah, at the first couple tiers, do you best figure out how to rank the next group or two of tight ends? Yeah, I think it gets easier. It doesn't get easier, excuse me. It gets a little bit difficult, but it all depends on the team they're on, what their outlook would be for me.
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think like the best way I figure it out. Like I really just go through
how to rank the tight ends. I mean, I'd go through the offense, look at the opportunities.
That's probably the best way.
Who they're competing with, how high scoring is that offense, what they've done in the past, those kind of things.
I agree with you, ATJ. I know I was talking to Zach about this, and these will probably be the last little questions and comments, and then we'll head off. I think Penny will get re-injured, in my opinion. He's missed 5+ games, and since his rookie season. He only played one full season, and that was his rookie season. He's always been on and off the field. I just see an opportunity for Ken Walker to get work on the ground, and we'll be surprised of him getting work in the air. Even though he's not a pass catching back, I won't be surprised if he gets 2 to 5 targets a game potentially.
Dude, 5 targets a game.
dude,
I don't think you understand how
that's a lot. That's
high that
for
would
sure.
be.
That is a lot, and I'm saying like this is a surprise. I said I won't. We'll be surprised. It's probably pretty bold.
That would be around third in targets last year.
I'm not saying he's going to average like it's like 2-5. I'm not saying he's gonna get 5 every single game. Like it can be 2.
Well,
like,
okay, sure.
in some games he can get 5. Some games he'll get 2. Some
Totally,
games,
but like the difference between a fantasy running back that gets 2 targets a game or 5 targets a game is very, very different. You know?
For sure. But I think that's where I was trying to say. Like I won't be surprised, and sometimes you'll see him getting a 5 target game. Some games you'll see him getting 2. Some games you see him getting 3, and it may vary. But
sure.
That's the thought process for me. With
I think both Penny and Walker can be successful. That's the thing. I think people keep missing out on that point. Like the way this offense is going to be established is through the run, and I don't see why they both can't be successful. But if you look at Penny last year, he was the best running back in football in the fantasy playoffs. That's not a opinion. That's just statistically true and analytically true. So I think if we're anticipating them just not to use Penny, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we'll see.
I think that we'll use Penny. He just needs to stay healthy. Then that's my argument. He just needs to stay healthy.
Yeah. Sure. Anyway, guys, huge love. Thanks for hanging out with us. I mean, we were live there on both channels for about 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. Sheesh, that's a lot. It's a lot. And then we still have to edit. So huge love. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
For all coming out. Shout out to the NBA truthers. LeBron's the GOAT. KD's the GOAT. Kobe's the GOAT. R.I.P. Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Steven said, I get Ibadaki, like any game you can get between 2 and 5. Sure.
Yeah.
I can see that as well. I'm just saying, like, averaging. Yeah. I think if we're using the word averaging, that's like any game you can get 2 to 5, I get that. But if we say he's averaging, if a running back averages 5 or 2, it's just, like there's a big difference there.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have a video coming out of that, unless it's already out. I don't remember. I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. But all love. Thank you so much. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. This is our redraft channel. If you want to be part of a redraft league, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. I think the Dynasty Lima League could be filled already, so don't mark my words.
Is it?
It could be.
Oh, really?
We have some messages in the Discord that we have to attend to, because I know a couple people were looking at it. But if we do, we still have 2 more spots. Just send us a message on Discord, and we'll let you guys know. But I'm pretty sure we have 2 more spots, or full in the Dynasty League and redraft. We are taking redraft leagues. We always have been. People have been signing up. I think we have about like 4 leagues in redraft right now, potentially. You have to double check. Tell them, Blaze. Tell them. All love.
All right, guys. Huge love.
Deuce.